All right. Hello. Hope you had a really nice short break from the last Randomizer boot seed that we actually just watched for Open League playoffs. We have yet we can see GFE's potential last stand for Sphere-FUNity. Game 1, 2-ish of their Randomizer with boost was played yesterday, and GFE and P-Train playing ALTTPR for Sphere-FUNity is looking to take on a win to force a game 3 between Jem and Mike, and of course fellow teammate Telethar. I'm joined by. How's it going? Are you ready?
Yeah. Hello. I am ready for
Great.
some boots.
We
and
do enjoy the
keys.
boots, correct?
Many keys.
That's right, yes. ADKDB, as it's affectionately called. I actually think it rolls off the tongue. I didn't actually know if that was going to happen when I first heard the acronym, but it is actually pretty smooth once because all the letters kind of spill out as you may or may not expect it. But yeah, ADKDB, all dungeons, key drop with starting boots. Starting boots is, that B is very important. No starting sword for this particular variation. And I will say that key drop, probably before League, was in people more familiar with it in some, I won't say necessarily like more niche communities, but there were certainly definitely more specialized modes like Door Rando, right, that use a lot of key drop. You played a lot more mystery, that key drop showed up a lot. Otherwise, I don't really know if there were that many other tournaments or really modes that had key drop in there. But then, of course, Gem and Telethar started up in ADKDB tournament, which GFE was also part of and made it pretty far. Of course, certainly as well as Telethar himself and Gem. And then, of course, League got through ADKDB for week 1, and I don't think people maybe weren't as used to it to begin with, but now I think they actually look pretty comfortable, I will say. This is such happy music. I appreciate GFE's choice of, I think he said this was Kirby. I may or may not be a little bit partial to Kirby. As may also be evident by the Usedbow team logo. He's a good pink blob. Somehow his, I don't know, evil twin, who is on Death Mountain, is a giant ball pink blob thing. People avoid like the plague. I guess that's not Kirby. He's not lovable. Hey look, there's a hammer. That's a much easierly accessible hammer in the back of Saha that GFE just found in game 1, which I believe was, since it was logical randomizer, it was sword locked?
It was Master Sword locked, yeah.
Master Sword locked. That was...
Or no, I mean, was it? I don't think it actually was. Because you'd get stuck in Boomerang chest, but you didn't actually have to go in there. I guess you need the key logically.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you need the key logically, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. So for those of you who may not have seen game 1, it was a Lionel in the back for logical randomizer, which yes, in fact, you do in fact need to go kill. Okay, some actually pretty strong divergence between Sphere-FUNity and Usedbow. Mike, with his patented Eastern micro dipping, we'll see how far he goes with that hammer.
All the way.
All the way, perfect. I guess we're playing co-op, not solo, so I would maybe imagine that we don't want to leave too many things unchecked that we have either logical or illogical access to, so long as we can physically reach there without using any major glitches, or some not allowed minor glitches, then I think we want to get them if we can.
The bottle's nice. Could be substantial, probably is just, you know, going to let them clean up CAC on the first trip.
Oh, that B. You said it was a good B, right? I'm having a little trouble telling from the tracker, maybe.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, even if it's not a good B, see, nice lamp, by the way, on the map guard. GFE looks like he's... Oh, well, we can't go any further because this is key drop. But I was gonna say, I believe, specifically for Team Usedbow, that B has really earned his keep through multiple seeds, being able to kill off several mini Moldorms in the mini Moldorm cave. Of course, now we have a hammer, so maybe there's not as much pressure to rely on the B, but it's you can almost consider it like a secondary weapon. Alright, I guess, yeah, with that lamp, GFE suddenly can now... I mean, everyone else will presumably find that lamp sooner rather than later. Oh, there's a nice sword, by the way, in the bottom of the well. Oh, that Gem has to. He just got.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like being with basically two very nice melee weapons, of course with the lamp, too, and now we're gonna just be able to check a lot more things, much quicker, much easier, and in logic.
Also, there's another bottle here, so
Okay.
so far nothing out of Eastern. It looks like that was worth dipping, but
I would imagine that a GFE and P-Train will go there sooner rather than later. You do see a lot of Sphere 0/1 in Light World being explored basically before people go into Dark World. Even if they have, I think, quick Dark World access, which I guess with that hammer, that's the only thing so far that we found. We got some nice arrows in the tavern and on Sick Kid. All we're gonna do is looking for that bow. Also, I'm a little bitter about game 1. It was Randomizer, and for some reason, there were 0 Lamboses in the path. The only one I think I knew about was in the back of Pendant Swamp that did not need to be touched. So, but the good news is this is 80 KDV, which means it's all dungeons, which means that there is 0 chance that these guys can skip out on some good boss fights.
does seem like you have a specific preference in mind.
Maybe. We are lacking quite a bit of stuff there we now do have a fire source, that's at least something. And I did remember there was a Desert Small key, that GFE, and of course Gem found earlier in the drop down to Lost Woods. Other than that, we're gonna need a lot more small keys. Probably at least 2 to just physically need to get to the back, all 4 for logical access, and of course the Desert Palace big key. And a glove, and probably some sort of better weapon than what they have now.
So Gem, they both blind checked race game, and Gem decided he needed that compass.
Okay. Did you happen to catch which compass it was?
It was a Tower of Hera compass.
Oh, well then that is unfortunately not a compass we would like to keep, but I guess we keep looking. Now, for what it's worth, compasses, I don't actually believe will do anything in this particular mode. So normally in keys modes, they'll tell you, if you pick up the compass, they'll tell you like the dungeon counters, but I think in this preset, they just come automatically. There's no like need for the compass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maps of course still tell. Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say we turned on the dungeon counters specifically because like when you kill, some of these darkroom enemies or like lift a pot and you're just like, was that it dropped like a 20 rupees, you're like, was that the enemy? Like, did that guy give me collection rate or not? And if you're not auto tracking, there's no way to actually tell.
That's so smart.
And it's just not fair for people who didn't have auto tracking running. So like we just turned on collection rate counters.
That is actually a really good decision. I mean, I very much appreciate that because it's also not something that I think is maybe obvious when you first think about whether or not you should make that decision. Like turning on dungeon counters, for example, like and a more general statement is like, oh, that sounds kind of overpowered, right? Or maybe we don't need it. Look at that B go on Mike's side, and he's still with us after killing. Dude, what? How? Did the bees like eat something like for breakfast? Like
normal bee behavior.
Just normal, yeah, normal bee behavior. All right, we have a glove back there, by the way, in Mini Mulderm Cave, and a bug net.
Yeah.
So we can even re-catch the bee. Mike,
nah,
please.
No.
Okay, I guess the bee's gone. All right, he served a very good purpose. And we coincidentally also have Zora money. That is very convenient. I forgot where the first 300 was already, but 300 another in Mini Mulderm is certainly quite nice to be able to.
I think it was in the dam.
Oh, okay.
Sunken treasure.
Okay, well that will explain why GFE doesn't have it yet. And also looks like he's gonna go from Mini Mulderm to Gina, presumably. Might be a little, I would say, inconvenienced by the fact that there's 300 here, but at least we're gonna get the Gina check in earlier. I guess no book, so it means it's probably gonna be like a one-off. That's what it looks like. As in, we can only check Agina, we can't really go into desert or anything. I believe somebody has scouted. We're just gonna go back to or Zora. Yeah, but I think somebody already scouted. It was just a small key on Desert Ledge, so nothing we can really get to as of this moment.
Yeah, I think P-Train went to Agena already.
Oh, okay.
And knew about the 300, and P-Train was gonna skip it because what's the point? But then he got the other 300 in Mini Molorm Cave and said, "Oh, okay, I gotta go back and get Zora money." I mean, it's gonna work out pretty well for Gem and Mike. Gem's literally sitting here waiting to figure out what he does about Zora.
Yeah, it looks like Mike just wasn't quite fast enough. I did see that he made a quick waterfall check detour. Of course, that's also very important here in the set of checks to be completionist. But you know what's really important? That mirror that we just found on Zora. Looks like we're gonna go over. Everyone's gonna converge over to the Light World fish.
Yeah, so there's like zero doubt in my mind that our Moon Pearl's just in Paradox Cave or something that locked the Moon Pearl. Or Hera or Spiral, but in Paradox Cave.
Okay. We got a combination. Right, oh, that makes sense.
Gonna grab this Swamp Big first, just cause.
Yeah, I'm right, and some of these things are. It's better to maybe just invest the minor, let's say like 15 to 30 to maybe 45. That might not be a minor time investment in order to just kind of pick up the things that you may or may not need. But you're just trying to hedge your bets because you don't know when the next time you're going to go into Swamp, if you're going to be the first one going to Swamp. Or anything, somewhat remotely more far away, right? And then if it's convenient for you to get now, you can just get it. Versus like, you don't get it, you're in the middle, it's like, oh, I have to go back and try to figure out about this, it is going to take more time later, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a perfectly good time to grab it while you're on the way to, on the way over to go up the mountain. So Gem's already done this, he's just getting this water walk. Mike did not get that rocked, okay.
Ooh, another Castle Tower key. By another, I mean that may be first one. We do need all 4 of them, and so any Castle Tower key, and maybe people have a little bit more, are more attentive to the Castle Tower keys from just regular AD keys, or maybe even some version, some amount of AD KDB. We do know that Castle Tower keys can be notorious for go modes, and so we definitely want as many as possible.
Yeah. 3 is a lot. It's not 4, but
it is. Yes, it is. It is not 3. Or sorry, you're correct. It is not 4.
Yeah, I don't hate going into Castle Tower like on 3 keys. You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to double dip it, but like, you don't need to come back until the end of the seed. So like, you're just doing it after GT almost every time, and it's like, yeah, it's fine.
That's actually a very good point. In that you don't actually, yes, like it is. Castle Tower is a less pleasant dungeon to double dip, and probably, I don't really know where it falls into the scale, but like if you are gonna double dip, you may as well just try and get as much out of it as you possibly can, and it's very linear, and so like three keys is that means you can get everything. Maybe a pearl back there. Who knows? We'll see. But we are here in Hera. Mike is also going through Spiral Cave, and looks like at least P-Train and Gem are, well, they were not the ones who discovered the mirror for their respective teams, and so now they have to kind of go and fetch the mirror, because it presumably will lock the rest of their immediate progression, and of course also future progression.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's on the same path here. Usedbow gonna check Aga for the first time. Find out it's a small key. It's a small key. That's right. We need a much better look. Yeah, trust but verify. It's a good way to do things. I think it's, might as well because you're in the area, but also we have 3 Castle Tower smalls already, so like, and the lamp. Actually, yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, well, that's right. The lamp actually has pretty starting to look pretty sus. Yeah. That's a good point. We don't have a way of getting into Castle Tower right now, but of course that doesn't necessarily mean that the cape or another sword won't just like show up, right?
Hey, look, there's a
And
pearl.
there's our
As
new
you predicted in Paradox.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone knew it. It was not
Look, there's another sword.
okay. So this is just a hype cave start. Double hype cave. One person can go catfish, and one person can go over to dig game. It's a little awkward, I think, because if I'm gonna do catfish, I definitely am also thinking about with this equipment. I'm also thinking about just clearing out Castle Tower.
Oh, good point. Good point. Did not think about.
I don't really want to do that, honestly. So.
Would you maybe try and save Castle Tower trip in for, like, maybe try to wait out either for the fourth one, but also then some higher castle keys? We can do more front of escape, or is that maybe like being too greedy, or do they not combine as well as I think they do?
Yeah, I think it's just they don't just combine. They just it's just not that big a deal to go back to Harrow Castle.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, we've had some pretty nice things in Hype Cave, by the way. Of course, Samaria is always really nice to see. Another Desert Palace small key. I'm maybe a little bit partial to those small keys, but we're certainly making progress. No real way to be able to get into Desert though. We're still missing. The book is the obvious entry, but we're also of course missing the mitts or the flute in order to get in. So really, nothing much we can really do with them right now. But looks like GFE is gonna go north versus Mike decided to go south.
Okay, yeah. So we'll see what GFU decides to do with Castle Tower. I would definitely just go clear it out right now. He is on the mirror. If that's a Castle Tower key, then you're just like, oh my god. It's not. Okay.
It is an Ice Palace key. That is actually enough to get in full clear Ice Palace. Do we have fire? Oh yeah, actually no, we have bombos. We can we just need mitts in order to get in. But yeah, okay. GFE is gonna go and make the attempt to clear out the rest of Castle Tower. 4 checks in here. And of course, one of the checks can certainly be a vanilla Castle Tower key, in which case you have made a brilliant discovery for your team. And rather than maybe putting it off, I mean, in that the case, then like if there's nothing here other than that key, then Petrie doesn't have to do anything for their side until basically the very end.
So Gem is coming in from the north here, and Mike has turned around with these flippers. I don't know what exactly we're doing.
We are getting like Hylia.
Mike scouted whatever was here earlier, and yeah, I didn't actually see it, but I know he did scout it. So maybe it's a mitts or a flute. Fire rod.
Oh, it's a fire rod. That's pretty good. Okay, looks like we are gonna get our friend away from home. Home away from home. We are gonna get a king check. I don't know if well, I guess he's already in the light world. And he kind of jumped off from like Hylia Island. Probably better. I was just thinking with flippers and mirror, he can maybe just get it on the way to pyramid and catfish potentially. But this is also just as good. Pot key. Never complained about pot keys.
Yeah, it's a little weird just because you don't until you get at least your second pod key, but you know maybe even like 3 and a big key or something like that. You don't really want to be going to pod here. Like, there's one check in logic. There was one check in logic. Now there's more.
Yeah, that's
but but like, so you don't know when you're gonna be able to get hobo from the back, and it's really just not that much better to eat two mirror transitions to get it from the back versus just save quitting off of that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we don't have to get out, and yeah, and also maybe like it's maybe more convenient in a on paper path, but yeah, like being able, but then you have to like backtrack and all this other stuff. GFE is going to get us a first catfish check after clearing out. The only thing I caught in Castle Tower was a Thief's Town Smoky, which is certainly still very good. Could certainly be very much like required. We already have one Thief's Town Smoky, I guess, from somewhere else.
Yeah, was that a Thief's Town Smoky? Because I do see that someone else has that we have another one from somewhere.
Yeah. In Dark Maze, it was definitely Thief's Town Smoky. I caught that. In Castle Tower, I didn't catch the other two. Okay, we have Sad Fish today. Nothing really to go speak about. Maybe he is trying to do some good deeds because Zora had her mirror. Of course, in order to get to here, we need to go through Zora first, and so maybe just trying to, supplement some additional income that we unfortunately had to lose in order to make a pretty hefty purchase.
Now, did we have to go through Zora first?
Wait, how did we get to the mountain?
With our glove.
Okay, right, but then we get a paradox, right?
Yeah,
we need like a hook shot.
With our.
Oh, with our. Okay, good point. You are correct. I'm trying to actually see how many of these people. I believe all 4 people, I believe, should be capable actually of bypassing Zora if they if push came to shove.
Yeah, push certainly did not come to shove.
Yes.
But it, yeah.
It is a. I think it would actually be really hilarious, honestly. I don't actually know how many of these types of sequences I've seen in co-op, just because, again, if you have 2 people, you kind of need both people to be able to kind of accomplish the same thing. And also, like, because it's co-op, you're trying to get more coverage. And if you know you're already super breaking something that major, like just trying to get a few extra checks, like it might actually just be more worth it to you to go the intended way. Because your partner has to kind of also do that too, right? So yeah. But it is really cool if you see it, especially done solo. Suddenly it's like you're in Paradox because you hovered over there, and then you find your pearl, and you're like, okay, well, where's my anything else that gets me up here? That's a pretty money-rich seed, right? We got a dig game. We had Zora. I guess we're going to Pod. Oh, there's a Thief's Town Smoky here in the back of Escape. Okay, that is the other one that everybody needs.
Okay, so those are 2 pretty free keys.
I don't know if anybody scouted Bumper Ledge. Mike found a Higher Castle key somewhere. He used his...
that back of Skull.
Oh, in the back of Skull. Okay, I was gonna say, with his 1 Higher Castle key, he decided to go check a... As a 3 key locked check for the front of Escape for some inexplicable reason.
Yep, good call.
Netted him with GT. Yep. It just netted him GT small key. Not gonna be anything useful at the moment. Could be not super valuable, depending on where that GT key is, and if we need to go search the rest of the basement or upstairs. But you do need 2 at the very minimum in order to at least climb. Nice small key to this dungeon, by the way, in Pod. Hilarious.
Okay, yeah. So we're at two pod smalls now. Is Jem done Zora, or does he have a different pod small? And then that'll be his 3rd.
Jem is done Zora.
Not sorry. I meant Hobo.
Hobo? No, he is not. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I guess I don't know. At least I didn't catch it if he first did it. Because he just got his flippers.
Right.
He's trying real hard to jump off the ledge. It is one of the hardest tricks in the game. It's actually... And I give these guys a hard time. Because they can do, like, some of the most, like, difficult tricks, execution, like, in the entire game. And then there's just, like, the simple stuff. Like, opening chests, picking up pots, jumping off ledges. There's a miss in the back of Pod, by the way.
Yep. So that's some mountaining that we could do. That's Ice Palace. And other than that, there's just a bunch of stuff we don't want to do, like Smith Chain, and we can still go into Swamp, but I suspect GFE will...
There's a bow back there, by the way, in the back of Pod. Also hilarious.
Yeah, neat bow. GFE may not go into Eastern now. Suddenly is a lot less of an attractive option.
Yeah. And I also did notice somebody, maybe P-Train, it also looks like Gem. They bought the Eastern Palace Bicky off of Bottle Vendor. So I guess that's not also in GFE's possession. So maybe that's slightly even less incentive for him to go into Eastern. Just kind of trying to wait out for that Eastern Palace small key. Yeah, pretty expensive seed this time. But good thing that the money is just kind of flowing, so... Alright, I don't know if GFE checked the Bollock side of pod. Maybe. He definitely left after Stoffel's basement, and then he did Dark Maze, and then when he got the bow there, I don't remember if he like had gone into the front of pod earlier.
I believe he motion camera unlocked it.
Okay, alright. Yeah, so this is actually been pretty cool then. We're gonna see somewhat like an alternative route in order to get past the mimics. The problem with even starting this spiel is that Gem's mimic clip is too fast. Now, granted, like the mimic did kind of start on the like the higher end of the screen, so like, but you can kind of just see how skilled and practiced he is at this. So. Easy peasy. But I think maybe I'm not sure what Mike is gonna do because like Gem is going to along with certainly with GFE, like they're gonna get the mitts and force the other bow in the backup pod. Mike does have looks like a potion with him, so he can certainly get through. He has multiple potions with him. Okay, so we're good.
Mike can also hover.
Right, Mike. That's right. That's actually a very good point. Mike's mimic clip is also pretty fast.
Also, what was on right side that we need to get?
Nothing. Good point. Okay. I'm just wondering if they want to go through to like save a key or something. Maybe not useful.
No, disgusting. No.
Okay. Getting some more less appealing checks, as you had mentioned before. GFE is doing Smith Chain. Yeah, I was even gonna ask you, do we have like a good location, quote unquote, to go to? Normally, hopefully at this point, we can go like kind of, get ourselves into a very like snug, full clearable dungeon at this point, and I don't see that right now.
Well, we have ice, which we can do everything except for big chest. And alternatively, we have the mountain, and if you're hovering, that's 4, 6, 9 checks. Because you get the 3 out of TR eventually.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. We do have Samaria. I guess we have a.
I mean, we only have one medallion, but maybe.
Mike found Quake somewhere. I don't know where he found that. At least it's marked on his tracker.
Okay. Yep. Well, I can tell you confidently that surely Mike knows where he found it, and Gem knows where he found it.
Good point. Yeah, so maybe that will be a Mike thing to go into, or go to the mountain. I did also, by the way, notice that Castle Tower 4 was in Shooter Room for Pod on the 4th entry, finally. So that is going to be quite good news for Gem and Mike. It looks like that's where Gem's going to go right now, is to just clear out Castle Tower. Not necessarily, I would say, like a regretful investment on GFE side, right? To necessarily go in with 3 keys, because like it's not like Gem and Mike are really going to get anything extra, like in terms of items. It's just that GFE will just have to completely climb again, which is, I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? It's a couple.
Definitely feels bad, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but if that's going to be like maybe the worst thing that happens to the seed, it's not maybe great, but it's also, I think, not catastrophic.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We did find another pod key on purple chest. It looks like that was something. GFE skipped the early heart container because we definitely did not need it on our way. That is Thief Sound key number 2 for Gem. I certainly do see, yes, I would say the parity between Gem and GFE, getting the lamp from Hyrule Castle, Map Guard, and P-Train and Mike. If that's the only thing that's in Castle Tower, or sorry, Hyrule Castle, seems like we're probably not going to go and get that lamp unless we have a few more Hyrule Castle keys that we can spare. Maybe Mike is just gonna make me eat my words immediately and just gonna go after that lamp because we don't have any more higher castle keys in order to keep going further.
Yep. I mean, that's definitely what he's doing. I'm a little surprised that he didn't just rush mountain or ice. This feels bad. Like, this feels like a mistake, I would say.
I guess they're well, we're both gonna do Aga. Gem, well, Gem was only a little bit ahead of Mike going into the castle and into the castle. I don't know if they're just trying to maybe hedge their bets and saying, well, if something is here, then you have to come do this anyway, so let's just go do this. Versus like if Gem had enough time to go get through everything and then have enough time to tell Mike, hey, by the way, we don't need anything until the very end. But there's a Feast on Small Key there. Maybe it was worth it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, the problem isn't so much is it worth doing early or like, you know, before go mode, or can you delay it for go mode? The problem is that, like, where is Gem and Mike going after this? Like, Gem gets to choose between ice and mountain as its two options, more or less. And Mike could have already been doing one of those. And so now Gem is going to have to make this choice. And, like, then Mike's going to have to choose the other one. So there's a chance that Mike could have chosen, quote, the correct one, right? Like, if he goes to ice and finds, say, some TR keys or the medallion, or he goes to Meyer, or he goes to the mountain and finds ice big or a flute. Like, he could have chose the correct option. But now they've guaranteed that they're doing the incorrect one. That's sort of just like in general why you don't, like, when you're like searching for go mode, you don't want both players searching for it, because what you're doing is you're just ensuring that you're doing that thing you don't need to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
And so, like, yeah, here they've ensured that they did the worst option. And the other thing is, it is an opportunity to split up your team that you can hold for later.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You bring up actually some very, like, multiple good points. Yeah, especially this early. You may be, unless you're maybe like hard bottlenecked into somewhere, it's somewhat less desirable for people to kind of be in the same location.
Yeah.
By the way, we actually do have a short version. Some might even say intended version of an Aga fight. That's in all dungeons. There are no blue balls to interfere with our steady progress towards later progression. I believe this is also going to be a thing in the maybe upcoming Go -1 stuff for all dungeons. Cross key drop. If you beat Aga, you do not need to wait through your blue balls.
Yeah.
Alright, GFE has 0 scope keys, maybe looking like we are here just for the swamp equipment. Because it actually does look like, yeah, we have 4 swamp keys, we have a flippers, a mirror, we have no hook shot. Maybe this is not gonna be our swamp care package.
Going for the bridge.
Oh, we're going. Yeah, you're right.
Definitely a play.
I was like, he doesn't have the book. What is he doing back? Oh, there is an actual in-logic check with the fire rod that does open up, and sometimes this can actually be somewhat of a gotcha check, because you only really ever think about this when you have enough to beat Skullwoods, and sometimes a sword can just be there, a blue boomerang can be here. But yeah.
Okay, well, this is getting interesting. It does look like the game wants us to go do desert. We just need our flute and/or book.
And/or book.
Gem has Ice Palace gives us full desert. every check in desert.
Oh, you mean he found the four desert the fourth desert small key? I also missed where the big key
desert?
came from.
Yeah, fourth. Yeah, also here.
Oh, okay. Right, and Gem is gonna go and do the. I always think the Ice Palace routing in key drop when you're on like 2/3/4 keys is always pretty interesting because it always seems like people just take a like I'm sure like the more let's say like quote unquote optimal paths are known, but it's also really cool to see like how people kind of get specifically this guy right here, which is a mushroom.
Yeah.
Could be important.
Yeah. And so here's like, Mike's going to Death Mountain. Gem is in ice. Mike might have to make a commit to that mushroom early and pick it up even though he doesn't need it, or leave it and hope he doesn't get punished for it. Just because he's gonna be done with Mountain and over to Ice Palace before Gem has a chance to finish this dungeon, kill Cold Stare, turn in the mushroom.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it does really look like GFE and Peach Rain are just kind of on like completely separate paths. Oh, nice Eastern small key. Okay, Eastern's looking like certainly a lot more appealing.
Yeah, probably try and wait till you're ready to beat Todd, but
Yeah. We've already gotten a lot of stuff out of Eastern already. I do think that both teams might feel a little bit bad, I guess, about going into Eastern without the big key and then just kind of seeing it on bottom center, which means we kind of had it extremely early. But it is what it is. So that might be the only real incentive for them to try and get there sooner rather than later, is because there is a check in there that they could have gotten very early but didn't. Or maybe Gem and Mike already did. I'm not sure.
No one's gotten big chests.
Yeah. Okay, but still some pretty nice syncing going on among opposite teams. Of course, Peach Rain and Gem are inside Ice Palace. A little bit faster maybe on Gem's side. I think he came in just slightly earlier. But we're gonna get a nice, healthy Cold Stare fight. I have been told by Gem many a time when during Pilot Spoiler that Cold Stare with Bombos is free. You don't even need the Fire Rod. Master Sword certainly helps. But I think he'll be okay. What does he have? He has a blue potion and he has a bottle, so... or what would it be?
He has 6 Fire Red shots. He's fine.
Okay.
Maybe 5 Fire Red shots. Still fine.
Yeah, oh wow, what a beautiful fight. Speaking of Bombos, it is that medallion for TR entry, so we can get it. Oh, speaking of Turtle Rock, we gotta... Okay, so Ice Palace is really, like, key heaven. We have Desert Big Key, what did you all say? Desert Big Key, Desert Small Key, TR Small Key, what else we find here? We found one other thing in ice. Not that mushroom.
There's a Desert Big, Desert Small, TR Big, or TR Small, Mushroom, I'm not sure what else.
Okay. Thought there was one more thing. Yeah, but yeah, this definitely looked like a very good place to be earlier on. Do you know how many keys we need for Ice Palace, logically?
Everything is 2.
Everything is 2, okay.
Except for Cold Stairs. All -1.
Okay.
And right side is Hookshot locked, which I guess is interesting. Hookshot locked or locked by every small key.
Okay. So is the big key needed for anything?
The big chest and the boss.
Okay. Only those 2. Okay. That is very interesting. Hey, look! Oh my god. Alright, we turn to the mushroom. That was on the bar, only to get an Ice Palace small key, which I guess is kind of vanilla. Okay, so that means that Mike does not need to go and get this mushroom, but it's a hilarious turn in.
Yeah. Where is Gem going? He's going to beat Eastern. Okay.
Eastern. One small key, and I've all seen this pretty common in co-op, that we just don't worry about the Eastern Palace big key chest, either until your partner gets there, or it's just never checked. We get a book, by the way. That is our Desert Palace entry for team Use Desert.
And so Mike's gonna go check Ether Tablet, and then go to Ice. And
I forgot about Ether Tablet. That is a very excellent reminder.
Mike will beat Ice Palace. We'll orphan our big chest completely, and then we will. Then we'll make our way to Desert, I guess. That's sort of there. Nice Hyrule Castle key.
Yeah, that is. Alright, don't worry. Gem is just practicing his bow usage. You never want to go into a landmost fight, not at least having used the bow once or twice. Yeah, looks like, yeah, so GFE is in Ice Palace, kind of following P-Train, with them having gotten their first crystal. And then, yeah, they're gonna trade some spots, and P-Train will go up the mountain.
Mike has a flute.
Mike has a flute. Where did he get this flute? Probably from TR is my guess.
Early the mountain, yeah.
I looked and I only saw the second chest of Super Bunny. Does that mean did he hover Hookshot Cave? I don't think he was up there fast. Oh, he did? Oh, then he is ridiculously fast. Because I was like, maybe he didn't hover Hookshot Cave in the time that I was looking away because I didn't think it would take. I thought it would take longer. Salute Super Bunny. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, isn't the one chest that I actually did not catch.
Do you have any arrow concerns right now?
For Mike or for Gem?
For Gem.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He still has to go to TR, right? He'll find at least 5 more arrows. You only need 12. You only need 12 to beat Lambos.
That's true. Can't argue with that.
Alright. Cold stare down for GFE. So I believe everybody has, with the exception of Mike, who is getting there, they will have their first respective crystals done. And it's just very cold.
Yep. And
so,
Gem's headed up the mountain to get his
book and flute, I guess.
I think he skips the book.
Okay. I guess there was nothing really important, maybe.
I mean, you definitely don't need the Hyrule Castle small key, so the book would only be for Bombos tablet. And like that's an expensive Bombos tablet.
Yeah.
That Mike can check for you anyway.
Yeah, because we already have our desert entry. With the flute that we can hear. So right, the book really in this case doesn't really have that much more usage other than those 3 things. So what do you think is going to be our next item? Or items, or keys, or whatever, to kind of open up more things. Hookshot?
I mean, it certainly looks like Hookshot or Thieves Town Big. Granted, we do have a full clearable Mire.
Ooh,
and Desert. So it's possible we can't logically get to Mire. I think that Ether is hovered.
Yeah, I was gonna say, by the way, GFE, he is here in Pod, checking out the 2 6-key lock chests as a one-off, I guess?
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, it's not terrible. It says a one-off. Yeah. Okay, this is not gone well for Mike.
Mike has a blue potion and a red potion. He is not quite in one-hit KO yet.
Yep.
He is now in one-hit KO. Okay, we used the potion. That was a very good use of the potion. Yeah, that last puff needed a lot of shots. So I'm glad he drank the blue one and basically just forced the fight to be a little bit faster.
Okay.
Alright, P-Train is...
Yeah. This ether could be critical or it could be irrelevant. It looks like P-Train's getting it regardless. So.
Yeah, very well done on P-Train's side. So yeah, it looks like this is somewhat of a, I would say, even battle playing field because everyone can get, I think, everything in these chests. Very well done on P-Train's side. I think also P-Train was one of the original VOD creators or like of the hovering tutorial. So to see him kind of do this like live just means that, you know, he still very much has it.
Yep, I believe P-Train is the hovered on literally everything guy. I believe that's what if I remember correctly. But regardless, got it done. And that ether is irrelevant because it's just bombos for both.
Okay.
Quake is irrelevant. Gem, funnily enough, does not have the magic to get into Mire.
Also, fairly convenient Mire small key on Desert Ledge, so that'll certainly help out with some routing.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it does. A third key is nice. It's probably worth grabbing before going into Mire.
Oh, that's actually probably a good point. Because, like, Mike just has it for free because he's the one who hasn't... nobody's checked anything for Usedbow on this side. But I don't... Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe Gem has a harder decision to make. Now, you do need 2 keys in order to get to Mire left side. I mean, you need, I think, every small key logically, but at least in order to just brute force it, you can just use the 2 keys. Ooh, we have just enough magic to get into Bombos, or to get into Mire.
Oh, yep, okay, and there's our hook shot, and now we can clear Swamp.
GFE.
So we're
going back to Eastern? Or Pod?
We're actually close. Oh, he's setting up a scum for the last chest.
Makes sense.
We're actually pretty close to GT mode.
Were you saying something about GT maybe being less like appealing or like less maybe valuable in Doors Branch?
Maybe.
Versus PT?
So that's what it certainly feels that way to me. With that said, I did a quick test and the evidence did not agree. So like.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know for sure. I don't know. Gem is skipping left side.
Gem has found the wrong bow in Mire. Good thing Mike can't be tempted, because he doesn't have the silvers for this fight. Alright, the other 6 key, lock chest, Harmless Hellway is just a Hera map, so it looks like Pod. Outside of the initial stuff that we had, the bow in the back of Pod, and Dark Maze, and the mitts, of course, in Dark Basement, or Rupee Basement. Not very useful. Alright, you see Mike also can't cheat as much because we have used up a lot of Fire Rod shots. We have 30 arrows to go. And we can't even cheat because we don't have Tempered Sword.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one line most
Maybe we need to... Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, this is actually looking pretty decent. Yeah.
Yep.
Well done, Mike. Yeah, no, that was very good. If he also gonna get the game's sense of humor and hilarity by turning in his mushroom for the Ice Palace small key.
Did you see we just visited the room
Yes, I also did catch that. We are in fact saving our mushroom. Given how many one-offs the GFE has gone and done, I was thinking about Pod. Speaking of Pod, Podkey on my left side. GFE, I mean, we might be seeing a fake powder check in our near future.
Yeah. I don't approve, but it might be happening anyway. It's like doubly bad here, I think, because like fake powder's always kind of bad, but you don't really have an opportunity to lose all your magic.
Hmm.
Like maybe after desert, before swamp, you could do it.
Oh, as in like you want to keep because you always want to use the magic a little bit later.
Right, like you can't do it with like before Skull Woods. You can't do it. We can't do Thieves Town, and Thieves Town's a pendant, so we might not be able to do that at all. You don't want to do it before going to Desert Mire area, because you want to be able to open up Desert Mire. Or open up Mire. So, like, yeah.
I'm kind of curious, by the way. As we're talking about no magic going into dungeons, do you think P-Train's gonna use a potion? Or do you think that we're just gonna pick up some magic containers, use the lamp in order to light the torches, and then go with our trusty?
That's a great question. we have enough magic. We're good to go. We're switching to the lamp.
I am excited. Although
maybe
this is maximum copium right here.
Maybe this is like a power play, you know?
It could be, very much. I mean, P-Train, okay, I don't know. I was gonna say, I mean, during the regular season and so far, the team that has used the bow on Lamos on every game has been, has the best winning record, for the entirety of League. So. Bow time? Alright.
Use ranged weapon.
Yes. Alright, but that is Lamos down. I believe. Oh, I guess I was even thinking. I don't know if Mike and Gem knows that Desert is a 5/6 crystal along with Mire, but that is one thing that P-Train potentially has opened out to him. At least, like, they know about it. I don't know if Gem and Mike actually do know. After in this case, both of them are gonna get their 5/6 crystals.
So I'm looking now and I'm seeing a concern.
I'm listening.
Like 3 arrows.
There are 5
desert, and we need to do map chest.
That's true. That's true. Oh, there are arrows in that room. I know there are arrows definitely in like desert circle of pots. But I don't think we need a big chest, right?
There's 10 arrows in that room.
I trust Gem, who has plenty of experience trying to make arrows appear out of nowhere, to be able to get himself enough arrows.
You're saying he has a plan.
I certainly hope that he has a plan. As we're seeing the silver arrows being used on Vitreous for Mike. Very nice fight. I believe he did things in the correct order. Having, being able to use the bow. He was not able to be tempted by using the wrong bow on Desert, and now he has silver to use to his heart content. Look at all these arrows, by the way, that we've just farmed up in Desert.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah, I think there was a TR key. Oh, what was in the back of? What was in the big key chest of Desert? Maybe nothing important. Maybe it was a skull key or something.
Yeah, the last TR key I believe is tiles 2.
Okay.
That Gem is missing.
Oh, okay. Desert just has Hera big and Hera small. All right, just the big Hera completion kit.
Yeah, Gem has 5 swamp smalls though, and the big. That's his next stop.
Mm-hmm. We don't even need Bomb Spooky. Well, okay. So if done the first time, does it actually save you time in Swamp?
If you have all the keys, no.
Okay.
No, it's just strictly slower. Even if you like, it's worse tasks. Okay.
Good first cycle. All right. And we still cannot cheat with only having the Master Sword.
So just a slash. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. No, very well done.
Early 3.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. We got our contractual obligations out of the way, and now we can go on and finish the rest of the siege. So, Thief's Town being a pendant, I guess, does have some opportunities for, I guess, like Thief's Town Big to be in GT, or maybe like something behind GT.
Yeah. I'm skeptical, but it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Just the already seeing 2 small keys to GT or to Thieves Town makes me suspect that we're gonna find the big.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did see the conveyor start to move immediately. That's always a good sign. That was, I believe, recently updated in the Doors branch.
Yeah. This is definitely a moth fight of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I was gonna say I'm pretty tempted to start basically trying blasting that moth to try to get out of the top. Hey, it's another CR small key.
I think Mike needs to go to Eastern here. He has his second Eastern small.
That was in Desert Torch. Okay, I did catch that. So
yeah. And because he wants to know if he needs his 5th, like he needs Gem to do left side swamp before he's sort of out of jail right now. Don't have a spooky app.
Alright, Mike also just checked Pedestal. It is, I think, very apt that he checks it, because it was a red boomerang. Was he the red boomeranger? Were you the red boomerang? I never remember this.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Area was orange.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I can tell you that much. That's about as much as I remember because orange was a weird color for boomerangs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's,
so orange.
that's about...
Yes. And I remember Humbug was the green one because Humbug is Yoshi, and Yoshi always starts out green. Now, and like I had nothing to remember you or Mike by. I was just hoping that it would just never come up. Alright, looks like the Mike is going to go into Swamp with Gem.
Yeah, I don't understand this. I guess he's just gambling.
I guess. By the way, I don't know if Mike's tracker is up to date or is a different one. He has 5-6 marked as Eastern Pod. But I definitely remember that it was a Desert and Meyer, because I remember even seeing that text on P-Train's side.
Yeah, I believe it. I think it'll get fixed at some point.
Okay.
I suspect that Mike just marked 2 crystals arbitrarily.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's also fine too. Just seen Mike change to Eastern. Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully that's like he realizes that it's maybe not necessarily correct. But we'll see. Hook shot acquired for GFE. and we're gonna go through the moth fight. This is when the fire rod actually will come in pretty handy. If Moth decides to not cooperate. That Swamp Big leads to Plot Compass. Okay, I'm less interested. Oh, left side Swamp has Ice Big. That is kind of disgusting.
Yep, that is. I can tell you what was just said. Gem laughed and said that there's a big key, then he says Ice Big, and then Mike said that's your problem.
That is just awful. Where's the 6th Swamp Key, by the way?
I don't know. Somewhere. I mean,
what
we've got.
Do you remember? Okay.
TR.
Well, there was a TR small key on Cold Stare.
Okay.
So if there is a Swamp Key in there, which would be I think even worse. But I mean that is also pretty on brand with the game sense of humor.
Yeah. So I mean the back of like Trinex and what's it called are not going to be in Logic for sure. Trinex and Lava Chest. Won't have any of our 6th small key, but like could definitely have it anywhere else in the dungeon.
Yeah. Okay, I'm watching GFE. He's the 4th one to come over to beat Lamos, and he has a lot of fire rod shots and not a lot of arrows. Not even like the correct arrows. So I think we're gonna just see yet another way of being able to defeat Lamos. I guess at least it's for the viewers. It's worth the sacrifice.
Ooh, sword.
Oh, well, that's pretty convenient for right after that we wanted to use it for Argus. But can't ever complain about Tempered. So we're also not getting Ice Big, right? Like anytime soon. Like if ever.
So Mike is no.
Okay, alright.
Mike's the one with the book, so he goes and gets up Bombos, and I mean the same is true on P-Train GFE side. They're just not there quite yet. Okay. Nothing to Eastern.
Alright, well, that's certainly good news. That neither GFE nor Gem has to go and get the book. Don't let it come back down for Bumble's templates.
So, looking at this now, is TR Hera Thieves are crystal or pendants, and we're in GT mode right now?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because we apparently found Pod Big, presumably here in Swamp somewhere, because Mike and Gem both have it, and I'm going to assume that GFE and Peach are going to get this relatively shortly. So yeah, we can get Eastern and Pod are crystals. We beat Skull, that was a crystal. So yeah, everything else, Hera, Thieves Town, and TR are pendants, yeah. So then, if you're in, I guess, like, these guys' position, is Eastern Pal's big chest, or big key chest, like, on the table?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just, you get the hook clip.
Oh, okay, good point. Alright, Mike's gonna finish up the rest of the 6 hotkey block checks.
Oh,
that's right, only one, that's true, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna actually say, like, I'm looking here on P-Train's side and GFE side. My guess is left side is gonna be a GFE problem. P-Train will not bother with getting over there.
Yeah.
Oh, we're probably gonna do Smith Chain on Gem's side for Team Usedbow. Now, this is certainly not to meant as any like discrediting or anything for, I would say, the combination of Gem and Gem and Mike. Telthar, you're here as a partnership.
Hey.
But yes. But I had actually been thinking earlier, like looking at GFE and P-Train, they've played together for like a number of years now, right? On similar schedules, right? Like many league teams, etc. I think they have a very good like team, communication. And I was thinking like Gem and Mike are good friends. They do play Raider together. But if you just on paper ask somebody like between Gem, Telethar, and Mike, which partnerships maybe has is the most easiest to schedule with in terms of overlap. You might think it actually is Jem and Mike because they're both in Europe, right? Jem's in Germany, Mike's in Sweden, so they're both on very similar timelines, and it's actually not. I don't know how many times I've seen Jem and Mike actually play together.
Well, the
But
problem
it's
is that the problem is that Jem wakes up at 3 p.m. and Mike goes to sleep at 6 p.m. So like,
True. Yeah, the amount of overlap that Mike and Jem have is actually this is like the only 2 hours, 2-hour time slot basically that we have available together.
it's actually pretty impressive because you'd think that like in the worst case you would have 8 hours of overlap, and they somehow have less than that.
Yes. Yeah, and like Mike, for what it's worth, is a like he's a morning person, but I think even earlier morning person than like normal. His cats may or may not have anything to do with this, but I guess his normal like start time is maybe, I don't know, like 4 or 5 a.m. Local time for him. So, and I think that works really well, right, with Pacific Time Coast people.
Yep. Catches the end of
exactly.
Of my schedule basically.
Now, I won't say like Jem doesn't degen all that often. Like he hold. I would say actually, especially for a lot of the compared to a lot of the other Europeans, he actually holds like a fairly like decent sleep schedule. Normal, like up in most times in the mornings, and then asleep, and let's say like 11 p.m. to like 1 a.m. time slots. Alright, that's Helmsor down, by the way, for Mike.
Yep.
Okay, so I think at this point we're just gonna go, and then he's gonna go to Eastern. And hopefully this is gonna be, if he can get to Eastern Palace Big Key Chest before Jem flies away. I don't know if this is gonna be enough time, because Jem's already on Helmsor.
Nope, probably not. That's fine though. I mean, it's almost certainly nothing.
Almost.
And if it's not, you're sad, but you'll just come back. It's not that big a deal.
What else do we need? Is it just Ice Rod? Oh,
GT big.
Deep Down Big. GT big. Right.
Yeah. GT, Deep Down Big, and an Ice Rod.
Surprisingly, Castle Tower keys are not on that list. I actually kind of expected maybe something to be behind Castle Tower, given that we had all CT smalls pretty early.
Okay, so maybe we are in time. Are we gonna? Nope. Nope. Just leave.
Yeah.
Not Mike. No. Mike can try again, but we're not. Maybe he's actually just gonna skip it.
Hyrule Castle small key. Oh. Wow.
Yep, we do have all of them now. That's fine. I mean, we're in GT mode, so like we're not stressed. I will say that Jem is distinctly lacking in GT small keys, as is GFE.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I forgot where all of them kind of are. My mind.
One of them is there.
Okay. Oh right.
In each of Big Key tests, apparently.
I see. So I guess that's gonna be another one that Jem's not gonna get.
Yeah. So Jem can do Hera while Mike goes to over into GT. And Mike can hopefully clear out a bunch of GT before Jem needs to spend keys.
Alright, nothing here in Pyramid Fairy that GFE has just checked. It was a 20 rupees and Compass to Swamp. But I don't know if that's gonna be good. I don't know if that's gonna get checked by Jem and Mike. I mean, they, I guess, do have what they might think is the 5-6 crystals. So at least it's something.
Well, they have 7 crystals, so yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
that's sort of the idea behind just marking some random ones. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter, so just tell your tracker you have access.
Okay. I see what that means. Dueling crystal catches. GFE is back in pod. I don't know how you want to count some of these safe scum times, but this is certainly not the second time. Or third time. But we can actually beat the dungeon now. So he will kind of play a little bit of crystal catch up. I believe he is... Yeah, P-Train's a little bit ahead of him, getting more crystals down on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
I think other than that, everyone is kind of converging towards the mountain.
Yeah, there is an issue here in that P-Train has 4 keys to GT and GFE has 3, which is not great. Whereas, like, Mike has 6.
How many
okay,
does
so
Gem have? Is it 2 or 3?
3.
3. Okay. Ooh, my Gem using the shortcut in order to get to Pyramid Fairy. That I believe actually, yeah, GFE and P-Train do not have access to because they have not beaten Aga yet. Reminder to self: P-Train has beaten Aga. Correct. GFE was the one who did Big Bomb. Okay, he did not have access.
Yeah, I mean, the shortcut really doesn't save much time. It's not that big a deal.
Okay,
like,
but Gems did do Pyramid
4
Fairy.
seconds, maybe.
Yeah. I also did see that is Mike gonna do Hera now? Is that Gem's problem before going into GT?
No, Mike's rushing into GT, I would assume.
Okay.
And like, yeah, I would assume Gem is gonna do Hera before GT. Like, they're just trying to create that separation so Mike can do right side plus map chest, and then Gem can do everything else. So then it's like, after that point, it's no longer an issue.
Okay. Very, very understandable. I guess this means that even with this many GT keys, we're probably not going to see that middle door open.
No, we are missing a key for that. Plus, it still just doesn't make sense to do.
I understand. Lots of, I believe, lots of things that are somewhat more meme-based don't actually lend themselves to going faster.
You're saying like they're doing all these other memes. Why can't they do this one?
Well, at some point, maybe you gotta draw the line somewhere, right? You know, you gotta like maybe you can do like a top, I don't know, 4 or 5 things that can cost you time, but maybe the 6th one just isn't, just doesn't make the cut for priority lists. I don't think I caught anything on right side GT for Mike.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Mike didn't get anything fetch questy or big key ice rod, so that's one key that Gem doesn't need to spend, and Mike will be able to do map chest before Gem okay, there's this dungeon key anyway. So that will be fine. Gem has enough keys now. No concerns. Wait, no, he still needs map chest not to be a thing.
Alright, it is not a thing. I mean, it's a heart piece, so technically still a thing, but it's not an actual thing. I'd like to use the blue Boomeranger. We can't, unfortunately, use the red one. That is pedestal locked. Nice 10 arrows also, right before Armos.
Yeah, maybe there's popped arrows. We have silvers. We don't even have.
Yeah. Alright. Actually, and actually, maybe this is a good thing, right, for the GT cutscene to take so long, because Mike is gonna get, well... Maybe it's not gonna be long enough. Because I was actually just wondering if Gem just wants to either, like, do tile room now, or climb?
No, not climb.
Oh, we can't climb yet. No GT big key. Good point. Oh, no, nice shovel. GT big? Okay. I guess we're gonna come to left side. And
We are
Thieftown
going here,
Multi.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Right, we're done with Hera. Did anybody do the basement so far? I guess that's just only Gem. Gem did not do the basement according to the tracker.
Yeah, no. Everyone has skipped Hera basement. Which, right, makes sense. We can do Hera basement another time.
It does look like we'll potentially have to go back off the mountain. Especially with the steep. That's probably where maybe our ice rod is. Too big? Question mark. We have a shovel to also look into.
Yeah, I mean,
Ice rod could also just be in TR. It's rando home. In which case, wouldn't it be hilarious?
It has happened before.
Oh look, it's a big key to this dungeon, and it's completely vanilla.
Okay,
That room was almost vanilla, like purely. If it weren't a heart piece for and it were bombs in upper right, it would have been a completely vanilla room.
So we are now in Ice Rod from Go mode.
That was so close to being an ice rod.
There you go.
We are getting the middle door. Thanks, Mike. But this one actually I think looked like a time saved, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That's how it should be.
Could have just climbed, you know. It's not here.
Could have. Alright, P-Train though, first one into GT for Sphere-FUNity team. Did he already do left side or right side? Yes, looks like yes.
There are 8 checks. So he has 5 keys. As long as he skips map chest, he'll be fine to do full clear this dungeon. Or, you know, minus the map chest.
Alright, Mike has found out that there are 10 arrows in Tile Room. So I'm thinking that he will not need to tell Nephilim won't force Gem to go to Tile Room 2. Maybe, depending on how many arrows Gem uses in Ice Armos. We'll see. Oh right, I forgot about the 10 arrows here.
Alright, well. Up we go.
Yeah. Not maybe quite still the we're all in go mode territory, and we can just basically skip anything, but this is a little bit of like a mini race. This is certainly not the first time that Gem and Mike have been kind of together in the same-ish dungeon or area. But it does look like Gem has a little bit of a lead for Mike. Oh no, Mike has a little bit of lead, right? Yeah, Mike has a little bit of an edge going up the gauntlet before Gem. The hope is to hang on to this lead. And they both done Naga, 1, so then they can, I guess... So, okay, post climb, assuming they don't have the ice rod yet, are they, like, what would you do in this case?
Thieves Town.
Like, both of them descend to Thieves Town? We're just kind of doing the same thing? Okay.
Yep. The problem is, what else are we gonna do? Like, if it's in Thieves Town, doing something else is a big waste of time. If it's not in Thieves Town, you're gonna want to do. You're not losing any time by doing Thieves Town first.
That's actually a good point, yeah. Because both of them need to do it. This is all dungeons for everybody. And everybody,
and it's Thieves Town.
Yeah, exactly. Like, right, quote-unquote doing everything in Thieves Town. Full clear versus just go moding is really not going to be too big of a difference. Very, very nice Lambos 2 fights for both Mike and Gem. It somewhat pains me to see how much easier they make the Silvers look. But it is an acceptable Silvers fight, so...
Sphere-FUnity getting their GT big.
Yeah, exactly. And then looks like no tile room for them. We are going up.
Yeah.
They've made by the way.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
TR, and that's spicy because that if Ice Rod shows up in here, that it's probably still okay for Usedbow, but it could be danger. If Ice Rod is on the climb or Thieves Town, this is not good.
Yeah, because it actually does look like the fact that there's Thieves Town Big in Rando Room means that we have to go back down the mountain. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, 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 because we have to. We have to go back down for this.
I mean, yeah, but that's fine. That's irrelevant, right?
True. Nice small, by the way, in TR big chest. That's so bad, logically. Oh. You have to, I mean, the game does not care about your convenience, and the fact that, like, the logic does kind of assume that you will spend your keys in, like, the worst possible way, so then it can actually, in this case, force you in order to go pretty far into a dungeon and not be able to finish it, only to go back out in order to, and then just come straight back over. Well, not straight back, but then you have to repeat that entirety of the dungeon that you just went into, and then you have to, and then you can go beat it. Have you ever purposely told your partner wrong AGA locations out of curiosity? Just so you can try and like slow them down a bit?
No.
Good partner.
I also don't tell my partner AGA locations to begin with. I'll tell them if there's a blue ball, maybe.
Okay. Big key to Hyrule Castle. Oh man. I did get small key to this dungeon. Hilarious. Ice Rod? Or not Ice Rod? Are we going to Big Key Chest? I assume we are. Yeah?
Yes, yeah. So I mean, these are probably Sphere-FUnity's outs right now, is these Big Key Chests of TR and Zelda Cell. Because, you know, yes, that Usedbow probably will go back up to TR after this. At least one of them will. Not really anything else you can do.
Well, it is the Thieves Town Compass, and that is probably something that only GFE will have in his possession, is my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that one doesn't seem like it's happening.
Alright, and yeah, Mike was the first one out of GT and AGA 2, so getting a little bit of a head start into Thieves Town. The Hellway is trying to slow Mike down, giving Gem a little bit of an extra chance to catch up. Gem is taking every advantage by trying to speed through this thing with the cape. Nice burner. That was a lot of time. That was a lot of time for Gem.
Yeah, we actually just sort of skipped that. One of them could have grabbed it and the other one could have got it on the way back. If it was, you know, if it ended up being the Ice Rod, you just get it on the way back. Or
yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah.
Okay, they're both just gonna full clear this dungeon.
Wait, oh no. Ressi. Oh no, this didn't even register to me. Looks like Peter did the whole climb and ran out of keys.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was definitely climbing. Yeah, because he opened map quest. Oh. That is not a feels good moment.
No.
Okay, now it's time to play. If you cash in on your investments, if you've done the proper bookkeeping for where all your small keys are, and usually GT keys are not the thing that people tend to focus on because there are 8 of them, and surely how many more do you need? But this is one of those times where, hey, look, it's the Ice Rod. Wow.
Yep.
It's a very nice split, by the way, for Mike and Gem, in my opinion. One goes left, one goes right.
I guess.
It's very minor at this point, but it's like at least you do something like that you can, you know, make double checks.
Yeah, but like, it's not faster.
They found the Ice Rod, right? So at least that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think that is officially go mode for Gem and Mike.
Yeah, no, this is... Okay.
Okay, well, we got some half magic back. We have dueling mosaics. So Gem does win in this category. You can see less feet blind on his screen.
You can just see less, yeah.
That's true. And yes, you may or may not need glasses. Do not be concerned. This is also green pendant turn in. Or green pendant available if they so choose. I don't think there's anything that they could possibly want at this point.
No, this is...
Alright, and yeah, now we're going to see what the post mosaic kind of looks like. This includes trying to figure out which item is your flute item. You can see kind of Mike trying to at least use some Mario before we actually got to the right thing. Mirroring does not get rid of mosaic, as we kind of saw, because they both mirror to Light Worlds, but fluting away does. So. Okay, but at least these guys, GFE and P-Train are on the correct path. They just need, I guess, like one more. P-Train needs one more GTP. Or two, not sure. However many he needs to still make the climb.
Should just be one.
Okay.
Like one, he lets him full clear. He just should have get map chest.
Okay. Alright, yeah, so GFE is gonna climb. P-Train is almost through Thieves Town, but this is what we saw on Jam and Mike's side. This is the correct thing to do because everything, everything. Just the ice rod was what everybody needs at this point is just in Thieves Town Big Chest.
I can't remember where Mike's key is from. One of them is Eastern Big Key Chest, which Sphere-FUNity skipped. I can't remember where the other one came from. But it doesn't matter, obviously.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal that maybe the commentators have also not done their due diligence for bookkeeping. for where all the small keys were. But...
I did my due diligence. I don't have any diligence dues.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but this is maybe something that I'm not sure if even it happens to like most experienced runners. Is you just kind of lose track of the key, or you don't realize that you thought you had enough keys, and then suddenly you're just kind of in a position you're like, oh no. Okay, but actually it looks like with all of the dust settled in all this, Gem is about half to 2/3 of a TR ahead of Mike.
Yeah, because Mike had Terra still.
Oh, right, that's right. Mike had to do one more pendant dungeon before coming in here. And yeah, I think after this then, we're just going to... By we, I mean Gem and Mike are going to finish up Trinex and then go begin.
Yep.
I do think the co-op sees in general a little bit faster for like 80 KDB, but I think still looks like it's gonna be like mid 130, low 130s finish.
It should be under 130.
Under 130. Okay. Well, I guess we just have. Trinex
it's just Trinex and then Ganon, and Ganon takes about a minute with this, and there's no.
With silvers, right? Yeah,
with silvers, there's no walking to the pyramid. It's just save quit away.
True.
We'll probably hold up our Trinex crystal at 128 and probably cross the bridge at like 129.40s for Gem. Mike could be a little after the 130 mark.
How many Ganons do you think we're gonna see defeated today on Gem and Mike's side? Maybe just 2?
I would imagine 2. Yeah.
GFE's almost up with this climb. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I think this seed could have been like significantly worse depending on how the randomizer placed the items. That Ice Pal's big chest was, I mean, both like logically and physically, I guess. Accessibility wise, it was so far away. You were very likely going to skip it the first time because there were so many other things that we need in Ice Palace, and then once we were kind of there, you're just gonna go beat the dungeon anyway. And if there's something happening back there, yeah. Okay, it's fine. Gem is just giving Mike an opportunity to catch up a little bit of time. It's kind of like the common courtesy, right, in Thieves Down Hallway.
And this is 0 warps.
Uh-huh. Mike just gonna tank the Trinex fight. No problems whatsoever. Alright, we found silvers in the conveyor bari of Meyer. We found, I believe that should have been our logical bow, because the other one was in Pod Dark Maze, which is 6 pot kilos. So I can't imagine that one being our intended bow.
Conveyor Berry is 5 Meyer locked.
Okay, that might have been our intended. Then I don't know which one our bow is supposed to be, because both of them seem so far away.
And our mitts were 4 pod key locked anyway.
True,
so like...
true. Alright, by the way, big GG's to Gem. You're absolutely correct. Sub 130 time. Don't think Mike can quite reach that, but I think, yeah, this was a...
No,
I mean, Mike and Gem played well. This was well executed, well routed, and they're gonna have a very nice time to show for this. Mike is kind of not taking very many chances. We really don't need that much more magic.
No,
kind of after, yeah. Alright, that's arrow number 4 down for Mike. Big GG's. Looks like a sub 131. Yeah, very nice times finished. And I think with this win, this will move Usedbow on to the next round of playoffs. So big congratulations. 2-0 sweep. Alright, GFE does look like he does win the AGA Hall of Fame contest. Yeah, it looks like with that, big GG's to GFE and P-Train. They certainly made a very valiant attempt at the seed. Some things certainly did, yeah, like some of the decisions maybe didn't work out as well for them. And they have decided to throw in the towel. So, and we are slowly being joined by the racers of today: Gem, P-Train, Mike. GG's.
GG's.
Jeez. I'm gonna assume their bout was better than ours.
I mean, I think honestly, you guys lost, like, most of your time from like doing things like going to check pod on, like you went and did like you cleaned up pod before going and beating Eastern, and like that, like things like that, where it's just like, yeah, that probably wasn't the most. And then the Castle Tower play was unfortunate. Going there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that trust me. When I went to pod later, that felt bad.
Yeah, that
felt like the seed was screaming it. So I don't know. I forget.
Yeah, we actually thought it was going to be an Agassine.
Like some kind of dumb pearl on pyramid or something.
Yeah, same. Until we got Moon Pearl, and like, okay, I guess not.
Yeah.
I guess now we never do Castle Tower. This is gonna be our downfall, not going there.
Actually, going there was kind of like, this is our
Yeah.
chance. I'm going to do Pyramid, Mirror, and do CT on 3. And
Put
maybe
it all
that's
on black.
the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, GFE climbed CT with 3 small keys, and then I climbed GT with 1 small key.
Yeah, that one was
So
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah, he had
Oh,
open
no.
map. He had open map chest for, yeah.
Oh no.
yeah.
I
it was,
opened
Plus-
the forbidden door because I had 7 keys and wanted swag points.
Where did you have 7 keys, man? We only found 6, 7.
Mike was the one that got all the keys. I went there on 3, and then the staff was key for the 4th.
I'm just curious where your other keys
Big
were.
key chest was one of the ones that you were missing. I can't remember the other one.
What big key chest?
Frederick had one.
Eastern big key chest.
Eastern.
Yeah, Easter Big Key Chest
I had
was
Frederick,
my 6th, I guess, or 5th.
Yeah, you're
Was it?
6th.
Yeah.
6th. And then Stavros was 7.
Mm. I don't know what the others were. They were somewhere. I know Jam had a lot of anxiety over the GT keys, and I was like,
Yeah, I
don't worry
was
about
having
it.
a little myself because, like, I was already past. I was past the GT key, the other GT key that was in Eastern.
yeah,
like the free
Stalfo's
one.
room.
I was a couple rooms past it. I was like, was there anything in Eastern? And he said, there's a GT small in Stalfos. I was like, I probably don't need that, right? I'm not going back. And then later I was like, this is not comfortable. But it worked out on my end.
Yeah. Did you get that one, Jam?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah, missing roller room in TR, Frederick, and Eastern Biggie chest.
Oh yeah.
Oh, was
Frederick
Roller
had
Room one?
Oh yeah, and then the last one you're missing on Usedbow is on Laser Bridge.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
last chest. There's also, what was the other small there? Swamp 6 was in big chest. I don't
There's
remember
Hyrule
what
Castle
the...
Big there.
Yeah, Hyrule
and-
Castle big and another small
and-
key of some sort.
And TR6, which
Yeah,
led to
TR6.
your compass.
Yeah, compass.
Or
at
which
laser
led to
bridge.
Thieves' Town
Or
compass.
lava chest.
That's right.
That was nice.
On that chest.
Classic.
Ah.
It's the most exclusive item I believe that you have in GFE.
Yeah, when P-Train told me, like, didn't mention Ice Rod, I was like, I'm just going into TR, just call me off if you find it at Armos. And when he didn't, I was like, yeah, we gotta do this. It did not work.
Did you guys scout Fire Rod early, or was it?
P-Train
something
did.
you
Yeah, I scouted it
Yeah.
on my way to
Yeah.
get where like GFE already had the hammer, and I scouted it on my way to get hammer.
Yeah. Alright. I still don't know if you guys were scouters or non-believers.
I mean, I would normally scout on my way to Waterwalk Sora.
I mean, I scout lumberjack in all dungeons, which apparently, like, there are people that won't even scout it in like open mode. So I don't know. I've always favored knowledge. So don't know
who
if
those
that's
peop-
optimal.
I don't know who
play,
those
but-
people are. Telethar. Have you heard of them?
Cringe, honestly.
I don't know if that's optimal or meta, but I don't know. It's just I can't convince myself not to. Like, if I ever lose by those 20 seconds, then maybe I'll consider changing. I got much bigger things to worry about in my gameplay though.
I'm definitely a scouter in co-op.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't make sense to do those insane non-scouts, I think. Most of the time. I'll even read PED, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot about PED, but like in hindsight, like when GFE mentioned it, I'm like, the only thing that can be there is a GT Big Key, so probably not. At that point, I think we needed Thieves Big, Ice Rod, and GT Big Key to be in go mode.
I think we still needed Pod Big at that point. I don't think you'd
Yeah,
been
you might be right.
there yet. The early swamp dip didn't work either.
Yeah, GFE was like, maybe I should go to Pod on 1 key. Like, maybe I should go to like
That
Swamp
worked,
on 2 small
honestly.
keys.
But Pod on 1 key worked. But, I would have liked to have a third, but like when P-Train told me where flips were and I knew Fire Rod, I was like, I'll go get my flippers. I'll do Smith Chain on the way back. And then I was there. It's like, I got 2 Swamp Smalls. It's not going to let me dip too deep. I'll just check these. And it was all trash, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My route, and I don't know how it worked out for y'all, but I feel like after we got mitts, I felt like I was just on rails for a long time. I needed the ice small off a pyramid, so I did Castle Tower to get that. Then I cleaned up Hobo on the way to Ice Palace. After Ice Palace, I could do like Skull or something like that. I don't know. It felt like for a while, I just kept getting things that just led me into like an obvious next play. Like on my end, I feel like I really didn't have too many decisions until I made the decision to climb GT with 1 small key.
Yeah.
I guess we
So-
delayed DDM too much, maybe.
Right.
Like, I wanted P-Train to go there at some point because I can't hover.
Oh, it was a hover seed. Even though it was
mentally,
nothing locked behind.
I was just waiting for P-Train to hover because I'm like, I'm not going to DDM. I'll wait because you can check it all.
So the way we ended up was once we got those Smiths and the CT small in pod, like, okay, I guess we'll both do CT. And then from that point on, we both had like 2 obvious things we could do. So we just weaved our routes around that from point to point. Like Jem did ice, and I went to DDM, and then we switched because we both had progression. And then we did desert and mire and switched, and then we did, all the way until the end, basically.
And now I see what the difference was. It was just that DDM play sooner.
Yeah, because we didn't want to go to ice together with them. We came out of tower at the same time, right?
We kind of exhausted
2
all the good
keys.
things before pod, so we were there at the same time when I found CT4. Mike followed me, and then we went CT at the same time, and then the ice small made it so we could divide up. The one that was a pyramid.
When y'all went to, I can't remember, was there another pod small available anywhere before then?
Yeah, Hobo and Lost Woods.
Hobo.
So we went on 2.
Yeah. I went on 1, and then I can't mimic clip where I would have planned on clearing it all anyway, but I did both sides first on the off chance I found a small pod small there or something, and then bumped back and found the pod small. I was like, oh, okay, I can do the back anyway. That was quite a pod, though.
It was a good pod.
Good podders.
Mm-hmm.
P-Train, I only have one meme question for you left after this. You had the opportunity to win the whole thing, but somehow you inexplicably used the potion right before Lambos, and therefore you forced yourself to use the fire rod. But if you used the bow, you might have had a chance. That was the only difference.
Oh yeah, like that's the reason why they beat us by like 5+
yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
You didn't use the bow, man.
Wise word.
Even if I didn't, that's what I told GFE. Like when Jim finished, I was like, "Oh well, thank God." Like it wouldn't have mattered if I instantly bailed on DP. Like we still were gonna lose. So.
Yeah. Was comforting that the GT.
Yeah, I was happy that it wasn't because I want to say I was in Mimics 2 before I realized oh wait, I only have 1 small key and that doesn't work in this mode. So yeah,
actually it works about 70% of the time in this mode, to be honest.
Well, I was thinking because I was like between the two, I think between the 2 of us we had 5 small keys, so I'm like there's 3 left, and I don't really know. I mean, I guess I did kind of sleep on the fact that I just opened up all of Thieves Town. But I was like, I feel like there's not a whole lot of places they can be. I feel like my odds are actually decent.
Thieves Town couldn't have had any because the big key.
Oh, okay.
No, it was in random
room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, good players can probably figure that out on the fly, but me.
Not Rusty Gus. I haven't played anything but League lately.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I literally graduated on yesterday from my master's, and then we closed on a house on
Congratulations.
Thursday. So
Congratulations.
again.
yeah, I appreciate it. It has
Wow.
been a whirlwind. So I say that to say that Jim and Mike, you have done me a huge favor by eliminating us and clearing out my schedule. I cannot thank you enough.
Anytime.
Yeah.
What's the Masters in? Congrats.
Yeah. Also, I will say it is nice that after memeing for like what is this, season 7? So after memeing for 5 seasons, that we haven't made playoffs. Like we finally made playoffs and feels good. So even though this is the end of a season, it's still the closest we've ever been to glory. So it's hard to feel bad, in retrospect, looking back at past performances. So I'm happy. Happy with our progress throughout the season, and I'm also happy to have this spare time so that I can move on to IRL things.
Oh, yeah. No, I was gonna say, I mean, like, not only did you guys make playoffs, I mean, this is round 2, right? You guys beat a very, very strong team, right? 3 off the tee, so that is certainly nothing to look down on. I think you guys played well for some of these. I mean, I did see on the VOD what happened in game 1. That was, I mean, that hammer kind of screwed everybody over. So I don't think you guys played
Anybody
badly
could've won that seed.
or anything. So
Like you could have had plenty of open league teams win that one. You just go to Hyrule or go to Zelda Cell, right? That was a crazy match.
thank you guys so much for racing. It was, I mean, this was a very fun match to watch, and I mean, like I said, I think people played well. Some of the decisions just didn't end up working out. So
Yeah, such goes random. Good luck to you guys going forward. I do look forward to watching it back anyway. Now that the DDM aspect clicked in my brain, it all makes sense. So definitely good luck. If y'all do end up champions, I'm just going to claim second place anyway. It doesn't matter who else you're playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
We'll
we
try
had
to
to face
leave a trail of
you
second
guys more
places.
than once, so
Yeah. We'll try to leave a trail of second places in our wake. Do our best.
just don't trip at the finish line. Telethon. Okay.
Maybe we'll accidentally not use bow and lose the finals.
And it sounds like you didn't this time. I don't know.
Mike was not able to get tempted because Jem found Silver's and Meyer while Mike was already ready to beat Lambo. But they both had, I think, early 3, mid 3. There were some pretty good fights. So.
Yeah, I had tempered.
More
I
than
guess.
3.
More than 3. Okay.
I don't know. I lose count after the first cycle. Could be anything. Yeah, thanks for the race, guys. It was great. It was always exciting in these playoffs.
Yeah.
Enjoy your more interesting endeavors that we freed up your time for now.
We'll do. GG's in the rest of the league. Hope y'all go on to win it all.
Hell yeah.
We'll try. Thank you, GG's. It was great racing you guys.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Oh, cool. Yeah, big congratulations for making this far. And like I said, I think you guys had a very, very strong record this time, and it was certainly always a pleasure to be able to watch here from the best seat in the house, in my opinion. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, big congratulations again for all of your IRL stuff and featuring. And yeah, Jem, Telethar, and Mike get to move on to the next bracket round, whatever that may be. All the league teams are shuffled based on seeding, so I don't think we quite know what the opponents will be, but I guess you guys will find out as time goes. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I don't think there's any more rando races today, but there is one tomorrow for, looks like, Randomizer, Marty, and Shady. The Randomizer duo will tag team versus Tito's and Kakariko. That'll be tomorrow at 12 Eastern. So yeah, until then, have a great rest of your day, and then we'll catch y'all later.